I'm going to do some studies with gouache. This is some paper I bought. It said Bristol, so I thought I could use them for painting. I foolishly thought so. As you can see, they are a bit flimsy, but still I decided to give it a chance. I mean, it says Bristol. This is from a photo from the film Dr. No. It's the James Bond movie I am using for reference for the studies. I started with the blue underpainting just to see how it would turn out, since I usually use reds or reddish browns. I'm in a James Bond mood because it's close to the winter holidays. It's my Christmas tradition to rewatch the Bond movies, so I thought I should use them to practice my art as well. This is supposed to be Sean Connery. I'm not the best at capturing likeness, which is why I should do these studies. The more you practice it, the better you'll get and all that. And yes, it needs to be conscious practice. I think I do a lot of that. I mean, at least I try. Well, I started adding the gouache layer by layer, slowly building up the color like I usually do, but you can tell after a few layers that it is not made for painting over. If the paper could talk, it would be screaming in pain. I don't think you can see it in the camera, but in person you can tell it's like almost ripping the paper off. I feel very stupid for buying this pack of paper just because I thought it would be the same type of Bristol I've used before for painting. Maybe I am confusing the name. Anyway. Okay, this paper is not made for painting, definitely. I won't be getting this again, but I will try maybe with markers in the next one. It's just that I want to practice with gouache, but I'll finish this one in maybe with inks and see how it goes. So I started using the ink, but only as line work at first. I didn't want to use too much ink because since it's liquid, also I don't want it to break the paper as well. But then I thought that maybe it would be cool to ink it in a US comic book style. You know, the comics from the United States, like the Marvel or the DC, they usually have all those blacks and heavy line work, and I decided to give that look a try. I don't like it much. I much prefer the Franco-Belgian way. And even the Japanese comics. They have that inking style that I prefer. But still, why not try something different this time? At least the paper survived the heavy inking. I was afraid it would completely tear apart, but good to know the ink holds. The end result is not the best, but oh well. They can't all be bangers like the United Stations say. There'll be other opportunities to paint Sean Connery as Bond in the future. Since I really want to practice with gouache instead of ink, I got my good and trusted mixed media paper. I bought this new block of paper because I had spent them all on those cute animal illustrations I did a few months back. I cut one paper in half to make them roughly the same size as the flimsy paper. And I drew the next studies in with pencil. I'm starting with these three guys. These are from screenshots of the same movie, Dr. No. Since I have that James Bond journal, I want to make studies from the Bond films and add them in the journal. So it's like a James Bond sketchbook. Otherwise, if it's not for art, then I really don't know what to do with journals. I usually end up abandoning them, so might as well use them for something that is useful for me, and something that I know I can be consistent with, making drawings and paintings. I started them with a blue underpainting, to test, like the previous one. Because I do remember reading, or maybe I even heard it in another art YouTuber video, that you use red undertones so it's better for the skin tones, So I wanted to see if I could still paint warm skin tones with the blue undertone. I think it works well. And well, it's the same color as the sky in the back, so in real life the colors surrounding you do affect you. So maybe as long as it's a natural color, it will work as underpainting. I think it's a nice contrast between the cool sky and warm skin tones. And this one I decided to use it as a study for the clothes. I don't usually draw men in suits, and since I have that James Bond book illustration project, I think I should practice these things. I just want them to look good, even if they are just for me. Also, a suit is such a basic attire that it should be one of the things to practice regularly, like horses, for example. It's a popular subject, so it's always good to practice how to paint it. Here's the finished study, all in gouache. I'm very happy with this one. I think the colors are nice, and so is the outfits, like the fonts. I like how they turned out. I didn't use color pencils like I do sometimes, but I did use some of the gouache in a line art way. For the last study, I drew a car. I chose this one because it's, again, a popular subject that I don't really paint at all. I'm not into cars. Some people can see a car and say, oh yeah, that's a Toyota, or that's a Rolls Royce. All I can say is this is an old car, a classical car. It's black and has round shapes, a roundish car. I used a blue underpainting too. Since it's a metallic surface, it reflects the color of the sky in a more obvious way than skin tones or clothes do. I decided to paint it mostly with dark blues to represent the black color. When you use black only, sometimes it can look a bit lifeless. I like to add color in there to make it a bit more lively. I did use some soft purple for the road. It's supposed to be lifting a lot of sand in the shade. It's a complicated thing to paint. I find all cars to be like this, so I try to focus mostly on the shapes. If I can paint the dark shapes and the lighter shapes of the reflection, I'm hoping it will look like a car in the end. Whenever I don't know something but I have to draw it or paint it, I try to focus on the shapes. I think that's the challenge with these car paintings, because most of the time I have no idea what I'm looking at. It's not the best painting, but I like the colors. At least the color and reflectiveness came out well. Most of the issue is that I'm not sure what I'm drawing and it looks a bit wonky. I should try harder on the perspective of these man-made shapes. Here are the 3 studies finished. My favorite definitely, the one with the 3 men. The first one is just unfortunate. No more flimsy paper. But I am using it for my other sketchbook. I'd like to try to see how the markers will react, since it seems to do okay with the ink.